In John chapter 11, verses 1 through 44, we get a lesson on God's timing. Have you ever waited on God and felt like He waited too long? Not just a small delay, but long enough that hope started to slip. Long enough that prayers felt heavier. Long enough that you wondered if the answer was ever coming at all. Mary and Martha knew that feeling. When their brother Lazarus became sick, they did what any of us would do. They sent word to Jesus. They believed that if Jesus came, everything would be okay. They had seen His power. They trusted His compassion. But Jesus didn't come right away. John 11:6 tells us something that feels difficult to hear. So, when He heard that Lazarus was ill, He stayed 2 days longer in the place where he was. Jesus loved them and still waited. That tension matters, because it reminds us that delay is not the same as neglect. By the time Jesus arrived, Lazarus had been in the tomb for 4 days. Not hours, not overnight, 4 days. Long enough for hope to feel final, long enough for grief to settle in. Martha met Jesus and said words many of us have thought but rarely say out loud. Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. That wasn't a lack of faith. That was honest pain. And Jesus didn't correct her. He didn't rush past her grief. He stayed with her in it. Then Mary came. And when Jesus saw her weeping, Scripture tells us something powerful and simple. Jesus wept. The Son of God stood in front of death and still felt the weight of human sorrow. That matters for you today, because it tells us that God is not distant from our pain. He does not minimize it. He does not rush us through it. Jesus enters our grief before He brings deliverance. Then Jesus did something unexpected. He asked them to roll away the stone. That stone represented finality. It represented everything they believed was over, everything they thought could never change. And yet Jesus wasn't done. Standing before the tomb, Jesus cried out, "Lazarus, come out!" And the man who had been dead walked out, alive. Here's the truth we can't miss. If Jesus had arrived earlier, they would have seen healing. Because He waited, they saw resurrection. Sometimes God allows what feels unbearable because He is working towards something greater than we asked for. And that brings us to reflection. What are you waiting on right now? Is it healing, direction, restoration, peace? Where have you been tempted to believe that God is late? Take a moment and be honest with Him. Not polished, not perfect, just real. Because God's timing rarely feels kind, but it is always intentional. He is never careless. He is never distant. And He is never late. If this message spoke to you, take a moment to like this video. It helps this encouragement reach someone else who may be waiting too. And if you'd like weekly reminders that God is still at work, even when answers feel delayed, consider subscribing to Light for Today. You're always welcome here. What feels like the end in your life may be the place where God speaks life again. And until that moment comes, keep trusting, keep waiting. He is closer than you think. If God used this message to encourage you, consider liking or sharing it so someone else can be reminded they're not alone. And if you'd like to continue growing in Scripture together, I'd love for you to subscribe to Light for Today. Thank you for being here.